Welcome back, teachers. I'm April from Teach Travel Read. Thank you for joining me on another journey into the world of teaching. I want to share some things with you today about how to actually build your classroom library with little to no money. My last video, I talked all about the importance of having a classroom library. And I know that everybody's thinking, yeah, but where am I supposed to get the money to do these things? I hear you. I completely understand, because there is a difference between a government-funded classroom and a teacher-funded classroom. Grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and watch all about how to fund that classroom library with little to no money. Raise your hand if you're in charge of funding your own classroom library. I have taught in 2 different districts in the state of Indiana. One that was a low SES district and one that's a high SES district. And guess what? I've had to take care of the majority of the books in my classroom library myself. And that's not the fault of any districts. That's the fault of our nation. Let's just be honest. It should not be the responsibility of teachers to fund their own classroom libraries. Let me get off my soapbox now and talk a little bit more about some other things. We work so hard to help our students become readers, yet we don't get the money to fund our own classroom libraries. Every child deserves to find that joy of reading, no matter what it is and at no matter what age. So how can we as teachers actually create a classroom library without emptying our savings? Well, I'm going to give you 6 ways to build a classroom library that your students are going to love. I am currently in my 14th year of teaching, and I have almost 2,000 books available in my classroom. This was not an easy task, and I have been building my classroom for many years. I've worked in 2 different types of district, Title I and a high SES district. And I'm here to tell you, neither of those places gave me that money to fund for my classroom library. I've had to purchase and collect these books for my classroom library for more than a decade. Now, before you exit out, I want you to hear me out. Yes, I have spent some of my own money on books, but that's not the only resource I've used. I also use donations, whether it be money and or books, to build my classroom library. It's a really sad truth that we have to seek out money for our own classrooms. We work so hard every day to help our students become readers. So here are a few ways that I found success in monetary or book donations in my classroom. First, I'm going to share some fundraising and grant opportunities. One of my favorite ways to raise money is through Donors Choose. If you've never heard of Donors Choose, I highly recommend after you watch this video that you check out donorschoose.org. You can create a project, make sure it's a realistic amount. Don't ask for $3,000 because that's probably not going to happen. Maybe start with a lower amount like $200. Share it with your network of people you know and on social media, and ask other people to share it. And watch that support pour in. Friends, family, and even strangers may be willing to help you build your classroom library. I've received a lot of donations for books and other classroom resources through Donors Choose. Another option is to look for grant opportunities. Keep an eye out for grants that are focused on reading or on libraries. I've written grants to local bookstores, banks, foundations, and even to our PTO. There are a lot of grants available just for teachers. It takes a little bit of research and effort, but it is so worth it. One of my favorite things to do is to go shopping. As much as I love shopping, I have to be careful about how much money I'm spending because I am a teacher. Books are no exception to that. Buying books can be so costly. So how can I actually save money when shopping for books? Best suggestion? Shop the sales. So you can do things like shop thrift stores or garage sales. Find those places where books are very gently used or look brand new that are selling them for 50 cents or maybe $1. Secondhand bookshops are a great source for these types of books as well. You'd be surprised at the quality of books that you can actually find. You can also check your local library for sales or even look for clearance events. Keep an eye on your local library sales. Our local library does a friend sale a couple times a year. They also have a place where we can purchase books year-round, books that they have a lot of extra copies of, or books that are in really great condition. They just are weeding out. They're a great purchase. Also, check out the clearance section at bookstores. You can snag some amazing deals. Sometimes libraries will even give away books for free. You just never know. I've also found on places like Amazon, sometimes when I'm searching for specific books, that it'll have a little disclaimer that says, buy 3 for the price of 2. Okay, then I'll get a book. That's another way that you can shop those sales. And of course, don't forget that book fair. The school book fair is one of my favorite places to get books. Not only is it a great source for books that are cheap, but it's also going to help your school out. I like to sneak into the book fair, don't tell, before anybody else goes in there. And I will pull out the books that I know that my students will enjoy and the books that are on clearance so that I put them in a stack and save them and purchase them at the end of the book fair. Win-win for everyone. Another way to get books for free is to ask for donations or even do a book swap. So you could swap out books with fellow teachers to mix it up. You could ask students to swap out books that you've had that maybe they have some newer ones just to change it up. Just make sure that they're even trades. You can even ask for donations. Ask students, families, and again, your local community for those donations. Students can bring in books that they no longer want or have outgrown. Instead of giving them away to someplace else, ask the families for those books. It's a great way to get them involved in actually building the classroom library. One final thought. Remember, it's not about the quantity of the books, but about the quality of the books. With just a little bit of creativity and some community support, you can build that incredible classroom library for you and your students. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more educational content. And remember, until next time, I love this journey for you.